What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth in the building, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with my thoughts on this new project from Spitta Andretti and Harry Fraud entitled Vices. So the prolific veteran New Orleans spitter Currency and the ever consistent Harry Fraud join forces once again for what is their eighth collaborative album. This is Currency's second project of 2023, as his first was the Jermaine Dupri collaboration, which I feel was pretty slept on. Now, for this project, both Fraud and Currency are really tapping into the whole Miami Vice TV series aesthetic. It is a vibe that the two have touched upon on past releases, but it is here where they really explore it in greater detail. Now, Vices contains just 9 songs lasting approximately 22 minutes, but with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. The opener, The Great McCarthy, has this bright and cheery sample. It's a feel-good 80s pop vibe that sets the tone. Spitta is equating his success in the rap world to that of a kingpin getting rich off keys, as he states. Street value 12 keys is what these motherfucking beats will do. So as a whole, it was a solid, groovy opening song. Track 2, Black Point Boat Launch, has a 2-part beat. The first has a slower rolling 80s sample with a dominant saxophone. It's a wavy backdrop for Spitta to paint a picture of his luxurious lifestyle. He states, "She can't believe I'm this low key and worth these millions." And I feel that line really gets to the essence of what Currency is about as this low key millionaire. Second beat is a little more up tempo, and Currency raps, "No big payday for fools who play it safe. Residue like when the chalkboard is erased." So I like that subtle but slick coke talk. Residue like when the chalkboard is erased. Next is Stingray with Benny the Butcher, and it's backed by a Simply Red sample. The vibe is as mid-80s as you can get. Currency has some decent boasting, while Benny gives us some plush coke talk. I didn't find it to be a crazy Benny verse, but I'd say he did have the better bars between the two. But as a whole, Stingray, has this very rich 80s drug lord aesthetic down pat. The following, Marcus Camby, features longtime collaborator Jim Jones, and what is listed as a Tommy Wright III feature, but it sounds more like just a vocal sample on the hook. But shout out to the legendary Tommy Wright III out of Memphis. Now here we get this pensive beat that actually samples from Meatloaf, which was pretty dope. And Spitta has given us another vivid depiction of his cool life. I thought Jim's performance was solid as well. Yeah, overall, I dug the vibes here. I do wish, though, the Tommy Wright sample was a little more prominent. Afterwards is the highlight, Marble Columns with Larry June, and it's set to a bass-heavy sax beat that's ultra chill and one of my favorites from the project. And there was something about this production that harkened back to that old blog era sound of the 2010s, as I could envision Wiz, Smoke DZA, and Big Crit on this beat. Spitta drops a calm, cool, and collected verse, but it was Larry June who really stood out to me. He said, "She fucking on the low, I let her go because I'm not a simp. I'm smoked out behind this limo tent, $1,000 lighter when I take a hit." Had to chuckle with that $1,000 lighter part. Track 6 is Neon Skyline featuring GT, and it's built around a moody 80s sample, which did give off a slight Scarface theme music feel. Currency has some wavy imagery that was fine, and GT brought some Detroit street rap flavor to the table, which added some variety. Now, I'm not familiar with GT's material, but I might have to tap in. Then track 7 is 86 Testarossa with Rome Streets, and it has this very suave Miami Vice theme music. It's got a great bass line, and this just felt like the background music before a massive shootout would occur in a warehouse. I know y'all get the visual. Currency's verse was alright, but I actually found Rome to have more quote-worthy lines. The beat was a little different for Rome Streets, but I did welcome the change. And Rome has some sharp wordplay like, "Life had me stuck in a tight grip, battling vices, taking L's like the dice trick, flight risk. Now it's twice a rent for my night kick." The second to last song is The Warehouse, and it has this wavy sample flip of Been Around the World, but with the Miami Vice twist. Spitta repurposes some lines from Puffy and Mace's Can't Hold Me Down, so I suppose we could look at this track as a nod to both Puffy and Mace. But I did like the following Spitter bars. They were pretty descriptive. They fucked up when they gave us enough time to reload. Now it's a whole bunch of overturned vehicles, sirens whining like crying 3-year-olds. I'm laid up watching Dirty Dancing in my winter home. Then the project closes out with Purple Picasso featuring Vico. And it's a laid back banger set to this faraway cinematic beat that is a top 3 on the project. This was my first time hearing the artist Vico, but he did well enough. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of a strong 3.5 mics. I'd have to say it was a solid and cohesive release that really did capture the essence of that Miami Vice 80s drug kingpin era. From the 1980s pop samples down to the actual dialogue from the Miami Vice series itself, it all tied into the theme pretty well. It was short and to the point like their former projects, and a good listen from front to back. But I did feel the Currency managed to get outshined by a couple of his guests. And I get that he was likely more focused on catching a vibe for this particular project, but it did not contain some of his better rapping. That being said, it was still an enjoyable enough project that may grow on me some more. And at the moment, I already did like it better than Regatta from a couple years ago. My favorite tracks include The Great McCarthy, Stingray, Marcus Camby, Marble Columns, 86 Testarossa, and Purple Picasso. But let me know what you thought about this project in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Currency, Harry Fraud, Vices, one.